The RCMP have confirmed Lily and Jack were seen on camera with family the day before they went missing.
I was not in deep sleep by any means. And then about 20 minutes passed, and then when I woke up, Malaya was right beside me. She was still asleep. And I said, I don't hear Lily and Jack.
What if someone in your own family held the key to finding two missing children, but nobody would listen? What if the very person desperately trying to help became the voice nobody wanted to hear? This is the story of Darin Geddes, a family member who claims he knows what happened to 6-year-old Lily and 4-year-old Jack Sullivan. But here's the twist that will shock you. When he tried to share what he knew, law enforcement initially turned him away. Welcome to True Crime Chronicles. If you're drawn to cases where the truth hides in plain sight and family secrets run deeper than anyone imagined, hit that subscribe button right now and ring the notification bell. Because what you're about to hear will change everything you think you know about this case. May 2nd, 2025, a quiet morning in Lansdowne Station, a remote area of Pictou County, Nova Scotia. The kind of place where everybody knows everybody, where children should be safe, where families look out for one another. In a modest home on Gairloch Road, two children were about to vanish without a trace. Lily Sullivan, just 6 years old, with her bright spirit and pink Barbie shirt. Her little brother Jack, only 4, wearing his favorite dinosaur print boots. At approximately 10 a.m., their mother Malihia Brooks Murray and her partner Daniel Martell noticed something terrifying. The children were gone. They had simply walked away from their home into one of the most heavily wooded, unforgiving terrains in Nova Scotia. But here's what makes this case extraordinary. While hundreds of searchers combed through dense forests, while police conducted over 54 interviews, while the community held vigils and hung missing posters, one man was watching from the sidelines, growing more frustrated by the day. Meet Darin Geddes, not a stranger to this story, not an outside observer, but family, a cousin of the children's grandmother. In the days following the disappearance, while search teams battled through wilderness and investigators pursued every lead, Geddes was having conversations. Conversations with both sides of the family. Conversations that he believed held crucial information about what really happened to Lily and Jack. Information that could crack this case wide open. But when Geddes tried to share what he'd learned, when he attempted to provide this potentially vital intelligence to the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, something unexpected happened. They brushed him off. In his own words, "It's not hurt, it's rage, and I'm trying to control it." Those aren't the words of someone seeking attention. Those are the words of someone who believes he holds answers while 2 children remain missing. But here's where this story takes an extraordinary turn. What Darin Geddes claims to know isn't just another theory. It's not speculation or family gossip. According to multiple sources, Geddes has made a stunning assertion. He knows not only what happened to Lily and Jack Sullivan, but the details of his claims raise as many questions as they answer. He suggested the children are being looked after by members of Malihia's indigenous community, protected from something or someone. But if this is true, why haven't police investigated his story thoroughly? If Geddes knows where 2 missing children are located, what's preventing their safe return? And perhaps most troubling of all, what was so threatening that 2 small children needed to disappear completely? The Royal Canadian Mounted Police eventually did take Geddes' statement, but only after he persistently tracked down an officer willing to listen. What was in that statement? What information was so important that a family member risked his reputation, his relationships, and his peace of mind to share it? While Darin Geddes fought to be heard, the official investigation was following its own path. Court documents reveal that at least 4 polygraph examinations were conducted. The children's mother and stepfather both submitted to questioning, DNA collection, and extensive digital forensics. Over 54 individuals were interviewed. Ground searches covered thousands of acres of dense Nova Scotia wilderness. Search and rescue teams, RCMP units from multiple provinces, and volunteers spent weeks combing through terrain so challenging that experienced searchers called it treacherous. But what if they were searching in the wrong place entirely? What if the answers weren't hidden in the forest, but in the family dynamics that Geddes understood better than outsiders ever could. Here's what makes Geddes' position so compelling. He wasn't just another concerned citizen. He was connected to both sides of this family story. He had access to conversations, to tensions, to secrets that formal investigators might never uncover through official channels. And his rage wasn't directed at the investigation's intensity. It was directed at being ignored when he believed he held the missing piece of the puzzle. But Geddes' claims force us to confront uncomfortable possibilities. If 2 children are alive and hidden, what were they being protected from? If family members orchestrated their disappearance, what threat was so severe that vanishing completely seemed like the only option? The case has officially been classified as suspicious. That's not a term law enforcement uses lightly. It suggests investigators believe there's more to this story than 2 children who simply wandered into the woods. Consider the timing. Both children had been kept home from school for multiple days before their disappearance. Lily allegedly had a cough, but were there other reasons they weren't in public view? Were preparations being made? The fact that the children's mother initially called police to report that their biological father might have taken them suggests family relationships were strained, complicated, possibly volatile. And somewhere in this web of family dynamics, accusations, and protective instincts, Darin Geddes insists he found the truth. A truth so explosive that sharing it consumed him with frustration when authorities initially wouldn't listen. Today, more than 4 months after Lily and Jack Sullivan vanished, their case remains active and unsolved. Rewards have been offered. Their photos stare back from missing person posters throughout Nova Scotia. But Darin Geddes' claims cast everything in a different light. If he's right, if these children are alive and safe, then every search team that risked their lives in dangerous terrain was sent on a heartbreaking wild goose chase. If he's right, then this isn't a story about 2 vulnerable children lost in the wilderness. It's a story about a family so fractured, so desperate, that making 2 children disappear seemed preferable to whatever alternative they were facing. The RCMP has not publicly confirmed or denied the specifics of Geddes' claims. They continue to investigate all possibilities, interviewing family members, analyzing evidence, following leads. But the question remains, in a case where a family member claims to know exactly what happened and where the children are, why hasn't this information led to their recovery? The story of Darin Geddes exposes something fundamental about missing person cases. Sometimes the truth isn't hidden in evidence or witness statements or forensic analysis. Sometimes it's hidden in family secrets, in conversations that happen behind closed doors, in relationships outsiders can't fully understand. But that raises the most troubling question of all. If Geddes is right, if he truly knows what happened to Lily and Jack Sullivan, then what's preventing their safe return? What's keeping 2 young children from their community, their normal lives, their childhood? Is Darin Geddes a frustrated family member whose claims don't hold up under scrutiny? Or is he the one person who discovered the truth while everyone else searched in all the wrong places? What do you think happened to Lily and Jack Sullivan? Do you believe Geddes' claims should be investigated more thoroughly? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one. If you want updates as this case develops, if you want to know when new information breaks, hit subscribe and ring that notification bell. Because this story is far from over. The truth about what happened on that May morning in Nova Scotia is still out there, waiting to be uncovered. And remember, 2 children are still missing. Somewhere, somehow, the truth about Lily and Jack Sullivan is waiting to be revealed.